Hey guys, this is AwesomeJohn22 coming at you today with another review, this time of Thin Air. No, I'm kidding. We are taking a look at something a little bit different today. I spend a lot of time talking about Transformers and Power Rangers because, quite frankly, those are the things that I collect most often. There is dust all over my table. Those are the things I collect most often. The Power Rangers from the original series, the Power Rangers Megazords, were the first thing I ever actually collected from the store. But there was something, and I did buy Transformers, but I mostly bought those from garage sales and but there is something that I did collect before Power Rangers and before I started collecting Transformers, which I didn't actually start collecting until far down the line, and that is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles toys, they've always held kind of a special place in my heart because there were so few characters. It was really easy for me to want to collect all of them. And then they came out with different versions of the characters, and well, okay, that's 4 more figures. I can collect those too. So they kind of became the archetype for my collecting and my attitudes toward collecting. And so when the new movie was announced, I was actually really excited. Unlike a lot of people who, we'll get to them later. And even after I saw the designs of the characters, I wasn't put off at all. I thought it was a fantastic opportunity to collect new versions of these characters that I'd grown up with. I loved the original show. I still do. I still have a lot of the figures from that era of the franchise. I followed both of the live-action movies because there is no third movie. At least not for me. Yeah, and I don't know, I've always loved the Turtles. I always thought they were a lot of fun, despite the absolutely ridiculous premise. I always thought they were a lot of fun. I watched the new show, the one that started airing in 2012, 2013-ish, and I absolutely love it. It's a fantastic update to the original premise. And so when I saw this 4-pack, which does not have the figures in it anymore, from the new movie, I was absolutely ecstatic. And I picked this up immediately. It was about $36 as opposed to $52 like it would have been buying them all individually. And so yeah, that's the origin of this review series that I'm going to be working on. I already put up a trailer for the end result of the series, because I also own the 4 turtle figures from the new cartoon. And so what we're going to be doing up until the release of the movie on the 8th of August, which is right before my birthday, just so you guys know in case you want to get me something. No, but up until the release of that review on the 8th, we are going to be taking a look at the individual Turtles figures, starting with movie Donatello here, because I really thought about it, and I think this guy is the biggest departure of all the movie designs from the original design. So I wanted to take a look at this one first and get it out of the way. The runner-up, of course, was Raphael, and we'll be taking a look at him next. But I wanted to start with Donnie, and I want to put this as delicately as possible. Well, I adjust my light a little bit. There has been a lot of debate since the initial release of these new character designs, and by debate I mean a lot of people on the internet childishly screaming that Michael Bay has killed their childhood, like children, because they're children, in regards to the designs of these figures, and a lot of people saying that they look too human in the face and it's put offish, and they don't look enough like each other, they don't look enough like their original designs, they're too different. And that is absolute bull crap. Go back and look at the original designs of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, compared to how they were in just the original cartoon. They changed at least this much. It's absolutely ridiculous for people to look at these character designs and say that they are not representative of the franchise anymore because they are too different. those people are dumb. And of course, that's just my opinion. Maybe I'm reading more into the debate than I should be. Maybe I am taking it too seriously. Maybe I just don't see something that other people see. But from where I'm sitting right here at my camera, at my review table, I don't see what the big deal is. As far as I'm concerned, these guys are just as much the Turtles as any other iteration of the Turtles. And until the movie comes out and proves otherwise, which, based on the trailers, I'm not actually sure it's going to. That's the mentality I'm going to stick with. And I'm going to push forward and move directly into the review, because I absolutely love this figure. I'm zooming in a bit and bringing him a little closer. We can see Donatello, the tech expert of the Turtles team, has all kinds of cool tech gear integrated into his design. He's got this backpack with all these like sci-fi little doodads and doohickeys and little fan looking thing there. This pipe looks like some kind of scanner on the end, antenna. Very, very cool, molded in detail. I wish it was painted, because you do see, I want to show you this too. On the 4-pack, you can see there is some painted detail that's not present on the final figures. You can see their eyes are painted, and Donnie's, I don't know what those are supposed to be, the little armored skirt things are painted, and there's more paint on some of their weapons, which did not end up on the final version of the figure. You can see he does not have this paint here, and while his eyes are painted, I added that myself because having these more realistic designs with the classic Playmate Turtles white eyes was just a little put-offish for me. You can see cool padded design there. He's got one of those little military wristband things with the little keys and stuff on them. And more armor there. Armor down here. Very dynamic designs. Very asymmetrical, which I think is kind of cool. And rather than his... I love the color green on this guy too. Rather than the typical wooden bow staff, he has this kind of, I'm going to call it like an antenna staff. It looks like it's collapsible and it has hydraulics in it, so he can extend it and use it to push stuff around or lift stuff or push people around. And I think that's a very cool idea, because it's not a departure from Donnie's regular characterization and fighting style, yet it integrates his love of technology into it. And I absolutely love the idea of that. And I know some people would argue that point with me, that there was even an entire episode of the new series about him learning to appreciate his weapon and his fighting style, but I would argue that this doesn't compromise that, and therefore it's entirely reasonable for him to utilize such an implement. Taking it out of his hand, you've already seen he can hold it with both hands, which is kind of cool. He does have a rotation above the elbow movement, and pretty decent movement here at the shoulder, though it's hampered by his shell. That back in his hand, because I really like that pose. His legs do not move in and out, but they do move forward and back, and they do have rotation and bend at the knee. It's about average for a Playmates figure of this scale, except that the head, because of the way it's sitting forward like that, it doesn't really turn to the side very much. It more rotates around like so, which is a little weird. You can kind of halfway pop it off the ball joint and get kind of a side-facing stance, but that's actually the only thing that frustrates me about this figure, is that the head articulation is there, but it is effectively useless. Otherwise, though, this is an absolutely fantastic figure. It's heaped with detail. It's got so many more paint applications than you see on most figures these days. I mean, just look at that. Look at all the different colors and painted bits that... I mean, and think about that in regards to a modern Transformer. You got brown on the shell, you've got a slightly different brown in his padding, you've got the purple, you've got the black. I think even the green might be painted on. I'm not sure, but it's possible. The fact that it's missing a few paint apps from the pre-production artwork, that doesn't bother me at all, because you don't expect to get this many good paint apps on a toy these days. If you guys are interested in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, if you think the new movie looks interesting, or if you think the designs of these guys look interesting, I would absolutely pick them up. And even if you are a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan who doesn't like the look of the new movie, at least take a look at the toys. It doesn't hurt to support the franchise as much as possible. So if you take the time to look at the toys and you think maybe they aren't so bad, pick a couple of them up, see what you think on hand, and go from there. But I think this is a great figure. I think, spoiler alert, I think all these figures are pretty great. We've got all of them coming up this week, followed by their 2012 cartoon counterparts. So I give Donnie here a rating of pick it up, and pick it up in the multi-pack if you can find it, I believe. I found it at Target. I'm not sure if it's a Target exclusive, but you might want to start there. It is a much better deal, so if you are relatively sure that you're going to like the figures, go ahead and pick them up in that form. But do at least give them some consideration, because they are pretty great, and I think the movie is actually shaping up to look pretty great too. But again, we will get into more about that later. So yeah, that's about it for this review. It's a little bit shorter than my other stuff, mostly because I don't have to show off a transformation this time. Though all of my ranting in the beginning probably helped to pad it out just a little tiny bit. But yeah, if you enjoyed the review, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below if you feel so inclined. In the description down below, you will find a link to my blog, my Twitter, and my collections video. Check out that collections video, and if you see anything in it that you'd like me to review, let me know and I'll see what I can do. This has been AwesomeJohn22, and I will talk to you guys later.